Hi you guys, welcome to another video. It's been a few weeks since I last did a bump date. I did an enormously chatty vlog in the last thing I posted was this like huge chat where I just like kind of caught you up and like told you what was going on. Basically, we got sick and I just like fell off the YouTube wagon. So too long didn't read version. That is what was going on. So now I am here for my 16-week bump date. The last one I did I think I did 12 weeks last. Like, it's been a while. Now I'm like into my second trimester, have been for a few weeks now. So I thought I would start kind of like following a couple of questions just to kind of update as we go through the weeks. Obviously I'll have different things to say every week, but I just kind of want to follow like a little bit of a storyline. So yeah, we got sick. I got sick first and then like it was terrible. I explained before, I thought morning sickness was coming back. I was like physically really sick. But that was just like how my body reacted to the virus we had. And that masked the fact that we had a virus. And then it wasn't until like the rest of my family started coming down with it that I was like, oh, this is an illness. So I got sick first, everybody took care of me, and then everybody started going down, and then I was taking care of everybody else. So I was gone for a little while, and that's why you haven't seen me. But I am feeling so much better in so many ways. I can't wait to tell you about it. So let's go ahead and get started because I have to go to Costco soon. All right, so how far along? I am 16 weeks and 2 days today. Already 16 weeks, that's so crazy. It's like, it's definitely hitting me now. I talked a little bit on Instagram. I was like, I don't know, like I've been so sick that it's like hard to wrap my brain around this pregnancy. Well, like the past like week and a half, I don't know, something shifted. I feel better now. And I'm just like, my brain is wrapped around it now. I just cannot believe we're already this far. And now I'm like thinking about things we have to do in, you know, September. And I'm like, oh, I'll already be like this much pregnant. Oh my goodness, wow. On, you know, at Thanksgiving, I'll be 30 weeks pregnant. That's crazy for us. We're Canadian. Thanksgiving is in October. So I was just like writing things on the calendar and I was like, oh my goodness, like this is gonna fly. This is gonna fly by. And it already is. It's crazy. So yeah, 16 weeks and 2 days today. So probably what, 16 weeks and 3 days, I think, when you guys are seeing this. Any must-have items. So I would say water or like something to drink. I don't even really love water, but like I mix my water with like a little bit of juice or something. So like, but I'm just so thirsty now. Finally, I feel like I'm catching up from how dehydrated I was in the first trimester because I just like wasn't able to keep anything down. And now I'm just like drinking everything. And I don't know, it must be like a pregnancy thing, but I haven't found the right cup or like water bottle that I'm enjoying yet, because I love, you guys know my floral straw cup that I have had for years. It has been the best thing ever. I got it at HomeSense and I think I've had it for like 5 years or more. Like, it's the best. It's indestructible. It keeps things cold all day long. I love it, but it doesn't really fit in my car. So that's kind of frustrating, and I can't like put it in a bag or anything because it's got the straw in it and you can't seal it. So sometimes that's annoying. So like I feel like I'm gonna be hunting for like the perfect pregnancy water bottle. But I feel like that's a very common thing in pregnancy. Like, we need the perfect vessel to hold our beverages. I really, when I'm around the house, I drink out of these are milk bottles. So we get like glass milk bottles. If you return them, you get like a recycling discount or whatever. But I just keep them a lot of the time because they make the best drink cups for like water and things when we're just at home, because it holds, this is a liter, so it holds a lot. And I love them. I feel like every time I'm filming, since it got warm out, there's just always a dog barking outside. Okay, sleep. Sleep has been going pretty well so far. I did have a couple of days, like 2 days of insomnia for some reason. I just could not sleep. I wasn't tired. And it was the weirdest thing, but after 2 days it went away and I was fine and I'm sleeping fine again. I just feel like I need a lot of sleep this pregnancy. I'm not, like, I feel like I haven't gotten the like maybe the full-on energy back to my normal self yet in this second trimester. I don't know if I will. I never really got very tired in the first trimester. I was just so sick, but maybe I didn't notice. I just feel like I need so much sleep. Like I feel like I need like 10, 9, 10, 11 hours every night, and I just like sleep. I don't like to nap because I don't like wasting my day. Especially now that I'm feeling better and I'm like more active and getting back to what our normal routine looks like. I do not like to waste, you know, an hour or two in the afternoon napping. But sometimes I have to, and I can't help it. Like today was weird. Like I woke up, we all slept in, I think, well, I woke up at like 8, and then I had my breakfast, and for some reason after I ate my breakfast I just felt super exhausted, and I just laid down for a second and I fell asleep. So I had a little nap this morning. Like that's so weird. But sleep is good. I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out my sleep schedule still. I feel like I need to start going to bed earlier. I just don't like going to bed early. But I also hate sleeping in. It's a vicious cycle. So sleep has been good. I'm officially at the stage where I really need to start sleeping kind of left-sided now. And that has been fine, but like I do get a little bit uncomfortable. I've been really stiff this pregnancy, probably because I haven't done any exercise since I was first pregnant. So now I'm gonna be starting my daily yoga practice back up. So I really need to start my daily yoga practice. Yoga in pregnancy for me is so important. Like I've been practicing yoga for 12 years now, and my daily practice is really important to me, but like I have been so inconsistent the last couple years with like a daily practice. But in pregnancy, I just like, I feel it in my body that I need to do it. So now that I'm feeling better, that's something I'm going to start doing again, like this week, like today probably will start, just because I just need the movement. Like I can feel it in my bones that I need more flexibility. And that kind of blends into the next one, which is like aches and pains or anything. I have been feeling a little bit of aches and pains, but it's pretty normal for me. So like my hips and basically my hips and my tailbone in that area can just like lock up sometimes if I stand for too long. Like if I have a really busy day and we're out, you know, Canada Day was a great example. We were walking around for a long time. Like that night I was really sore, and there's been a couple of times where like I have been hobbling around the house, like having a hard time walking because I overdid it or something. And usually a hot bath and then a sleep overnight will make me feel better. So I did something. Oh, I was gardening for the first time. My poor garden has been so full of weeds, so I was gardening for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, and I was squatting because my garden is low. I don't have raised beds. So I was squatting for like almost 2 hours, and the next day I like could barely walk. It was total jelly legs. So there's been some like things like that where like I pack in the pillows at night and stuff, and then that helps me a lot. But I do get kind of like stiffness in my hips. It's almost like my hips get restless at night and I really want to turn over. But even though I know I can turn over and it's okay to technically sleep on your right side, I don't like to. And also my body just kind of says no, even though like I have the instinct to like want to roll over to my right side too and shuffle around. I always end up falling asleep, and then like something always goes numb or something, and then it's just like it doesn't end up being comfortable, or it's like harder for me. It's not, that's a bad way to explain it. It's not harder for me to breathe, but like it's just not as comfortable. But then I'll like fall asleep because I'm exhausted, and then I'll wake up hours later and be like, oh, I need to roll over. Or I'll get stuck on my back in between rolling over in my sleep, and then I'll wake up and like I just get this like weird numb heavy feeling, and I'm like, oh, I need to roll over. So aches and pains, pretty minor. Like I'm pretty used to my hips. Like I carry a lot of like my stress, and the stress in my body kind of goes in my hips. It always has. So I'm definitely planning on doing some chiropractic care this pregnancy, especially near the end. I'll talk a little bit in a second about another reason I want to do chiropractic care, But yeah, I just want to like make sure that my hips and my pelvis is really aligned for this birth. So at least 1 or 2 adjustments, you know, before baby comes. Probably when I hit like 37 weeks or something, I'll go and get a couple of adjustments done just to prep for birth and to help me be limber. I swear the dogs bark, somebody mows a lawn, or somebody's building something in their backyard every time I try and sit and film a video. Okay, next on the list is cravings. I have definitely craved things this pregnancy. More sweet, I would say, but it is kind of transitioning now. I don't have like anything huge that I'm craving, except for like I'll get like drink cravings where I'll just like really want something icy. I have a lot of like, I'm just like a craving kind of person, I guess, because when I'm pregnant I usually have like a lot of cravings, but they're not insane like drop everything, need to go get this now. They're just like, oh, I really want that next time we're at the store. We're gonna get that and I'm gonna enjoy the crap out of that. So this pregnancy has been largely sweet cravings. Like in the beginning it was like baked goods, like cupcakes, cookies. I was like sick as a dog, but I wanted all the sweets. And now it's still definitely like that. But now like I feel so much better, you guys. Like I can't even explain, like I just feel like a normal human. I talked about in my last video how I started taking my prenatal vitamin when we got sick, or like after we had gotten sick, just because I looked at a day of my eating and it's just nowhere near where it needs to be. I was gonna have a prenatal free pregnancy again, and that was the plan, so long as I could eat the amount of calories that I need and I was able to eat like a well-rounded thing. Well, I haven't been able to touch a vegetable basically since morning sickness started at like 6 weeks, so, or like 5 weeks. It was just like the things I don't love about prenatals, the lack of nutrition going into my body outweighed the things I don't like about prenatals. And so I'm taking them for now until I can either get back to a normal, well-rounded, nutrient-dense diet, or if I still have gaps, then I'll continue taking them, just because I learned the hard way with my first 2, especially with my son. Oh no, it wasn't my son. I learned the hard way with my first 2, just in general, that the diet is not, because my diet was great with my son. If the diet is not there though, the baby's gonna take what it needs regardless of the prenatal. The prenatal is pretty much for you if you need the gaps filled. But like I learned the hard way that like they really siphon from your teeth and everything. Like my teeth are so bad from having babies, and I spent like 1.5 years doing dental work to prep for this baby to make sure my teeth were like at a good spot. So I just don't want to risk like my poor teeth or like my bones and stuff. So I chose to start taking a prenatal. But oh, I can link it down below. I said that in my last video and I forgot to link it. Oops, I will link it in this one. I take the Baby and Me herb-free ones. Those are the only ones that make me not nauseous at all. I don't have any reaction. They make me feel really good immediately. It's like a whole food vitamin. They are expensive, but they're 100% worth it. It's the only vitamin I like trust for pregnancy. I've done buckets of research. It's what I took with my son for a little bit when I did take a prenatal with him. And then I kind of stopped, but with him, and then went prenatal free because my diet was okay. So we'll see this time. Cravings are like, I have much less food aversions now, like not like eggs. Saying the word eggs used to make me gag, and now I can talk about eggs, and I even ate an egg. So like that's an improvement and I enjoyed it. So I don't know if I'm like, I used to eat 2 eggs every morning. Like every day I would eat 2 eggs, and I would like scramble them or make an omelet or something or have them on toast. I'm not there yet. I'm not like, I don't want to eat eggs, but I had like an egg sandwich that we made at home and that was good. So we're getting there. And I don't think, and like hot dogs gross me out a little bit. Like they just are so unappealing. And for some reason it was eggs and hot dogs that were like, ugh. And that still is not like, I don't want to eat a hot dog, but like I'm not like completely repulsed. That was the chair, sorry. I'd let you know if it was me. I'm not completely repulsed by hot dogs. So cravings are kind of switching a little bit, but I think it's not necessarily the cravings are changing. It's just that I haven't been able to eat food for so long that now I'm like, oh, I want to eat food. Like, oh, I really want like really want a beef dip, and let's go get curry. And I'm like, let's go eat food. So I think that's mostly it. It's hot, it's starting to get hotter, so like I really like ice cream and like ice cream treats, bowls of cereal, cookies. Terrible, right? It's funny, with both of my other pregnancies, I craved burgers, teen burgers from A&W. Like just beefy burgers. Both of them, like Cody was ready to take out stocks and teen burgers, but this time I'm just like, I love a burger. I'll eat a good burger. Love them. But like it's not any different than what I normally would like just love a burger. It's like not a craving this time, which is really interesting. So this baby's like throwing us for a loop of like, sometimes it's like things that were similar to my first pregnancy, and sometimes it's things that are similar to second, and sometimes it's its own thing. So like we really can't nail down what we think the gender is, just because there's like, it'll lean more one way and then they'll just like throw in a loop. It's weird. So cravings, like yes and no. I am having cravings, but like they're all over the place right now, and every day is different. Every day is different. Okay, next is baby movement. Am I feeling the baby? Yes, I am feeling the baby. This one has been like a slower to like start feeling a lot of movement than my other two, I think. I started feeling flutters at 11 weeks, but it was never like super consistent, not every day. And slowly it has like increased, and now I do feel the baby like giving me harder kicks. If I like sit down and focus, I can like feel them, or sometimes now like I'll be moving and doing something and I'll feel a thud and I'll be like, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm definitely feeling the baby, which is really normal for me. I think I felt all my baby's movement by 14 weeks with both pregnancies. So that's really normal for me to start feeling like bigger kicks now. But I do wonder, so I kind of was starting to suspect maybe I had another anterior placenta, which means the placenta would be, you know, on the front side near my belly button instead of on the back side. It's not anything bad, it's a variation of normal. I had a posterior placenta, so the placenta was on my backside with my daughter, and then with my son, my placenta was anterior on the front. So I'm wondering if maybe I have another anterior placenta, because the way I feel baby movement is very much on the sides and lower. Sometimes I do feel it in the middle, but I'm just not feeling as much movement in the middle now. And my uterus and everything is like right under my belly button. So it's already at my belly button now, and like baby's right there. That's where we just heard baby and everything. Oh, and speaking of, I had a midwife appointment, a spontaneous one yesterday. And up until this point, we hadn't been able to hear baby. I had to cancel my midwife appointment. I was supposed to have one when I was sick at like 14 weeks, and we had to cancel it because obviously we were all sick. But my midwife was in the area, and she was like, hey, are you home? Can I just pop in? And I was like, heck yeah. So that was awesome to see my midwife again. Like, I love my midwife so much. It's so important to like really love your care provider, but it's different. Like, I just feel like we're friends, and I just like, I trust her so much, and I love visiting with her. I always feel so much better and just lighter every time we have a visit, and that's such an important thing. But we tried to listen to baby's heartbeat at 10 weeks, and it was too early and we couldn't find it. And I had only seen baby's heartbeat on my 8-week ultrasound, but we didn't get to hear it. And I don't have another ultrasound until 19 weeks. So, and that'll be my last one as long as everything goes fine. So I was really hoping we'd be able to hear it, and we did find it. So I got to hear baby's heartbeat for the first time yesterday, and it was so special. I was gonna like, my phone was right there, but I really had to stay still because it was a little bit difficult to find. So I couldn't like grab my phone and film. I just enjoyed the moment, and the kids came upstairs and they got to listen. So my midwife and I found the heartbeat first, and then made sure we could find it, and then called the kids up, and they got to listen to their little baby sibling, and it was so special. I'm just sad that Cody was at work and he didn't get to hear it this time, but soon we'll be hearing it all the time, every appointment, and he'll get to hear it too. So that went really, really well. Baby is doing really well. But back to like the anterior placenta thing, I talked to her about like, maybe I have another anterior placenta, and she was like, oh, maybe. And she asked me like, have you really felt like your uterus yet? Because with Grayson I could feel, she taught me how to like feel my uterus, and I could absolutely feel it. And this time it's been really hard to like figure out where my uterus is, and I can't really feel it as easily as I could with Grayson. And I was like, no, I can't really find it. Like, I'm not confident this time that I found it. And like my belly is like a baby belly now, but it's like a little doughier than I'm used to having during pregnancy. Like, it's a little funny. Like, it's definitely a baby bump, but it's just soft. And I was telling her that, I was like, it's definitely like sticking out. It's definitely there. This wasn't here when I got pregnant, but it's like squishy. And as she was feeling, actually, it was difficult to locate the baby. So we found baby just under my belly button, but she actually had to like push into my belly, like to get the side of my uterus and like just push it over to the side a little bit. And we found baby every single time that she like pushed pulled my uterus towards my belly button. So what we're thinking is, she's like, I think actually your uterus is a little bit tilted to your back. And that actually makes sense, because I'm pretty sure I do have a tilted uterus, which again, it's just a variation of normal. It's not anything to worry about. But it does run in my family to have a tilted uterus. It's not like a severe tilt, but it makes a lot of sense. The way my cervix points too, like my cervix points off to the side a little bit. So that makes a lot of sense. So she thinks that maybe it could be also an anterior placenta, but she thinks my uterus has just been tilted back towards my back. And pretty soon, like in the next couple weeks here, she says my uterus is gonna like tilt to the front. As baby grows, we'll kind of get that shift, and then I'll really pop. But that's why it's been so difficult, because baby's so small and I have a really long torso, so there's lots of space for baby to go. And then with the tilt, that's why maybe movements have been a little more subtle and stuff, because baby's just got lots of room and it's like chilling in the tilt a little bit. So that's what we're suspecting. So we're really interested to see what my ultrasound says at 19 weeks. Again, it's not a big deal, doesn't affect anything, but it's just a curiosity. But yeah, that was a long-winded talk about baby movement. But yeah, I do have that ultrasound. So we have my anatomy scan at 19 weeks, which is the earliest I've ever done it. When I booked in for my first ultrasound, they just booked me for both of them. So I actually booked this ultrasound, in April, I think, and which is super handy. But yeah, they booked me in for 19 weeks and 1 day. So that's super exciting. We'll be finding out if we're having a boy or a girl, and we'll do the anatomy scan. And I'm just really excited to see how much they've grown. And it was just like this, I think maybe that's why it's like hitting harder too. It's just like hearing the baby. Like, yes, I've been feeling them, but it's not super consistent. But like hearing baby like kick the Doppler away and like and do things like that, it's like, oh, you are in there, okay. So it's really exciting. Cody and I are like trying to come up with baby names. It's very difficult for us. But yeah, it's been fun, and I'm just really excited that it's only 3 weeks until we get to find out. Well, slightly less than 3 weeks now. Okay, any challenges? So not overly, I don't think. Again, like just some aches and pains, but they're like really mild. Again, nothing is gonna be as bad as my morning sickness was, if I'm being totally honest. I was going to film these videos. I had them planned on my phone of like lists of things to film for this pregnancy, and it was like, oh, like what worked in my morning sickness and what didn't. I didn't film that video because nothing worked. It would be depressing for people to watch that because nothing worked. I was talking to my midwife about that a little bit, and she's like, if you have another one, and I was like, whoa, now. She's like, if it happens, she's like, do we maybe want to medicate this time preemptively in the first trimester, since you're 3 for 3 of being like wretchedly sick? And I'm like, I would probably consider it, because that was brutal. Anyway, so that's like, any challenges now, just like they don't seem as bad. I don't know, like not a lot of challenges, except for, again, I just need to start doing yoga, because I feel like my mobility is just a little bit not where it used to be. So I want to start walking again, work my way back up to maybe 4K a day, and just start moving and getting gentle movement into my body. I have no desire to work out while I'm pregnant. I have no desire to break a sweat and like do cardio workouts and stuff, but I love walking and I love yoga. I don't consider yoga a physical like workout for me. It's always been kind of a spiritual practice, so but there is the benefit that it is a physical workout. So maybe I'll do some Pilates if I'm feeling brave, but yeah, I'm just like not feeling that super hard. So challenges, not huge challenges. One, I'm still struggling to eat enough calories, but I am gaining weight again. I'm not at the calorie limit. I'm not even hitting 2,000 calories a day usually, which is just not enough calories for my body, which again is why I started taking the prenatal. My minimum is 2,000 calories a day. I'm aiming for like, I don't know, what's my aim? Between 25 and 28 or something is what I should be hitting for my like height and weight and everything. So I lost 5 more pounds while I was sick. So that brings me up to a total of 15 pounds lost this pregnancy, and had until now nothing gained. And it was starting to worry me, but I knew like once I was able to start eating. And so like after I got over being sick at like 15 and a half weeks, I started to feel so much better. And now I have gained the 5 pounds back, and I'm so excited about that. So hopefully now I can start actually like kind of catching up and gaining a healthy amount of weight for this pregnancy. But that is the biggest challenge right now, is trying to get myself eating enough food, because even though I love food again, and it's just beginning, like I'm just starting to be able to cook again and like do all of the things I used to do. And so I'm really, really excited to get back to just eating food. And best moment of the last few weeks, I already talked about, was definitely hearing the baby and getting to hear them, and just like, it was just, I don't know, I can't explain it. I wasn't worried. I know that baby is in there and I know baby is safe. But not being able to hear them earlier and then going so long not having the opportunity to try and hear them was difficult. Like it was just like weird, because I was so sick and I was like, I'm pregnant, right? Like you're really in there, and then like not having a lot of ultrasounds. It's just like, it was a weird thing where just hearing them, like it kind of took my breath away with how much of a relief it was to like hear my baby. And it's like, oh, you are like in there and you're real and you're okay. And it was just like this very special, surreal moment of like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like everything kind of like clicked together in that moment, and I was just like, holy crap, like I'm having a baby in December. Like it's happening. And it was so special. Yeah, so that was definitely the best moment. Okay, you guys, I've been talking to you guys for a very long time now. I'm going to let you all go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this like little question thing I'm gonna follow. Maybe it's a little more descriptive than me being like, I don't know what to talk about. So now that I'm feeling better, I plan to be back with all my videos. So this is kind of like a midweek. I'm like, again, 16 week in 2 days. So I'm not like super far into my 16th week, but because I've missed so many weeks, I figured it was okay to sit down and give you guys a bump date. And then you won't see the next one until the end of next week. So probably, or maybe in the beginning of the next one. So probably like a full week and a half before you guys get another bump date, so that I can experience all of week 17 before I give you kind of an update on how that went. So thank you for watching, you guys. I appreciate all of you so much for supporting my channel and watching me and following me along on this journey. And just everybody has been so sweet and so wonderful, and just, oh, there was a baby kick. Just feeling the amount of love and support and like how excited you guys are for us is so special and so wonderful, because you guys got to see part of how long the wait was and the journey to get here. And I think it's just, I don't know, it's just really, really wonderful to see how supportive everybody is. And I'm just very, very thankful for you guys in this community. I couldn't ask for a better one. Like, that's why I'll never leave YouTube, I don't think, because there's nothing that matches this community. It's just so special. So anyway, you guys, okay. Emotional pregnant lady talking. I will see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all really, really well. Have a good week. Bye.